Hey, Transformation Church. Hope you're having a great week. Just want to take a moment and share some thoughts with you. Jay and I were at a conference last week down in Florida, and I was challenged by a couple of things. The first thought is this idea of you reproduce who you are and what you do. And that really just stuck out to me and challenged me that I, as a disciple of Jesus, will reproduce who I am and what I do. And I think we see that in the life of Jesus as he invests in his disciples, that they become who he was and what he did. But what that means and what that looks like is to be a multiplier. And that was the second thought that I was kind of challenged with. A multiplier is a healthy discipleship leader that is on mission with Jesus. A multiplier is someone who is a disciple of Jesus, who is set out to follow and align with Jesus' mission. And you may not consider yourself a leader, but as a disciple, we are leaders. We are not only students of Jesus, but we are to be disciple makers, which are then teachers or leaders that are discipling others. And so as we talk about what it means to be a multiplier, what it means to be a healthy disciple leader, what it means to reproduce who you are and what you do, there's 4 gauges that we talked about that help us keep in check a healthy, resilient lifestyle that allows us to be multipliers. The first gauge is this idea of relationship or relational. Who is it that you are in close relationship with right now that is challenging you, that is encouraging you, that's helping you to grow? But also, who are you in relationship with that you're challenging and helping to grow? Second is the physical aspect of our lives. In what ways are we stewarding our physical bodies, our resources that God has given us to be able to be disciple makers? Are we stewarding ourselves well that we can go for the long haul? The third gauge that we look at is mental. And what are those things that we might be wrestling with? It might be things from our past. It might be anxieties. It might be fears or challenges. What are those mental things in our lives that we need to keep in check? And then the last one is spiritual. How are we doing in our abiding with Jesus? How are we doing in our relationship with him? It is when we abide that we experience who God is, that we just spend time with him. And the thing that I learned is that this is in us. The ability to be a multiplier, to be a healthy discipler, a healthy disciple maker that's on mission with Jesus, it's inside of us. And we see this in the book of Romans and 1 Corinthians, where it talks about how the Holy Spirit, how God himself dwells inside of us. The Holy Spirit is inside of us. God, all the power of God is inside of us. And so we are able to be healthy disciple makers because God is living inside of us. I'm also reminded of the parable of the mustard seed that we looked at in our small groups recently. How a tiny little seed that seems very insignificant, like it wouldn't really become anything, becomes a huge tree. Becomes this place that the birds of the air nest, that people can gather to, that provides shade and food and all of these things. From something that is so tiny, and it's inside of that little seed. And the same is true for us. And so I want to encourage you this week to take a moment and evaluate how you're doing relationally, How are you doing physically? How are you doing mentally? How are you doing spiritually? Because remember, we reproduce who we are and what we do. Hope you guys have a great week. We'll see you Sunday.